Hello and welcome to Paw Prints on the Mountain. I'm your host, Mike Bosely. With me today, we've got Deena and Callie, and of course, this is all put on by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. But before we actually get to meet Deena, Callie, and our friend Dojo, which you'll want to meet him, I'd like to go into a little section I'm going to call Pet Peeves. So, a couple of weeks ago, I was in a town and I was busy doing other things, and it wasn't a community here on the mountain. But I witnessed an unfortunate accident, and unfortunately, the animal that was hit lost its life. I rushed over to this animal, and it may have been microchipped, but there was nothing on the collar that gave me any way to contact the owner. As having 3 dogs of my own, this really devastated me, and I actually went home and got names and numbers put on their collars. It's so very important, even if you do have your dogs microchipped. At that moment in time, I wouldn't have had any access to that microchip information. A name and a number is so very important. So please, your pets, it's coming Christmas time, drop it in their little Christmas stocking or whatever you have. That being said, Deena, I personally have 3 dogs, but only 2 of them are microchipped. What's the benefits of really microchipping your dog?
So the benefits are, when you microchip, we do this as a service for $20.
Oh, just $20.
$20, and we also register that. Registering it is a very important part because some people may get a microchip and never register it. At that point, it's useless. And if you move, you change your phone number, anything like that, it's a quick call to the microchip company, change your, update your information, and it's good to go. But with our microchips, you get this little yellow tag, and it's got the microchip number, and it's also got the number to the Pet Watch, which is the service we use for microchipping. And you could have called them, said this is the number on this tag, and they could have gotten a hold of an owner.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So all that's very important. Now, you're right. You had no access to scan it with the scanner and make sure that it was microchipped. But had it had the little tag on it, then it would have had the microchip number and the number to the microchip company.
And then I could have given that to the operator,
Exactly.
and they could have gone. Now,
Exactly.
I have also failed on that, and so let's touch on that. My 2 dogs are microchipped, but I've moved in the last 2 years, so my number might be good, but my address may be different, or actually Adria's number might be different. Is it really easy to update this information?
It is. You call your microchip company, give them your updated information.
Okay.
And I'm going to be totally honest. A lot of times there's a charge for that, like a one-time charge of $20 or something like that. But it's their life.
And
it's getting them back to you.
And yeah, that was a lesson that I did not necessarily want to learn that way. But
it's very sad. I was just on my way here to the show, and I ran through the post office and dropped a letter in the mail. And there in the back of a pickup's a dog hanging over the side. And I hate seeing stuff like that. I can't tell you how many times I've watched dogs fall out.
Right.
Even though they say they won't jump out, they literally fall out. When you turn a corner or something.
Oh,
I hate following behind vehicles with animals uncontained in the back of the pickup. And to me, it's just, I've got a really nice truck when I travel, and I lay down. It's a mega cab, a Dodge mega cab, and I lay down my back seat. I put a blanket down, and I take all my dogs with me. None of them ever ride in the back of the truck. So I've just seen too much happen. But back to the microchip and identifications. You went home and at least you got a tag with their name and your number, And I also recommend, even if you can't afford something like that, get a collar, use a Sharpie, put your name or their name and a phone number. Because we probably get, I would say 90% of our animals that come into us, wouldn't you, Callie, are strays that are never claimed.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, okay, speaking of strains, a little subject shift. We got who with us today?
Dojo.
Dojo.
We have Dojo.
Now, when Dojo finds his forever home, which swing on down to the shelter, check him out. Do you guys is the microchipping included in the adoption fee, or is that one of
Oh,
those
no.
hidden fees, like we'll adopt him and then we'll microchip him and then we'll clip his
He is
paws?
microchipped right now. It
Oh,
comes
yeah?
back to us, and when he is adopted, your information goes on there. We register it with the microchip company. And we also have, on all our microchips, we ask for an emergency contact number. In case they can't get a hold of the owner, a friend, somebody, an adult child, somebody that
Right.
doesn't live with you that can get a hold, come and get the animal.
Wow, I didn't even
Yeah,
think
an
of that.
emergency contact. And all our microchips, we ask for that emergency contact number.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot
So,
of
but
sense.
yeah, no, everything in his adoption price, he's neutered, he's current on vaccines for his age, and he's microchipped. And it's all for one price.
Wow. Now, that's that one price. I mean, that encompasses everything. Holy cow. And you guys also make sure they're healthy and everything before they leave the shelter, and that's part of your job, isn't it? And what is your job, Callie?
I'm a kennel tech, animal care technician at the Humane Society. I do a wide range of things. I clean, I help care for the animals, I walk the animals. We do vaccinations, we do health checks. We make sure that they are healthy and that they're safe.
You are certified to use a needle.
I do not have my tech license,
Okay.
no.
Well, but I mean,
I'm
so
a-
that's
I
what
Yes,
you
know.
guys
she has
are
been
all-
trained,
you
and,
have
and
all
she
been
came
trained.
from a vet's office too.
Okay.
Yes, I
Experience
used to
there.
work at an animal hospital before I moved here.
So when did you realize that animals was where you were going in life?
Oh, it was probably 3 years ago. I used to work at an animal hospital in Texas.
Uh-huh.
And I started as a kennel tech there, just doing grooming and working with, it was also a boarding facility. So cleaning their kennels, taking care of their animals, walking their animals, and I just fell in love with that. Just fell in love.
Now, all right, so you've got the dirty side of the kennel tech job,
Sure.
but there's got to be a lot of rewarding.
Oh, there absolutely is, absolutely. Seeing animals that come in that are malnourished, and we get to help bring them back to life. And then we take care of them for as long as it takes until we find them a forever home. And when they get to go home, it is such a rewarding but such a heart-wrenching
How do you not get
experience.
attached to these things?
Oh, we do.
We do, absolutely.
Oh,
We love them.
Bless
with all
your
our hearts.
heart.
Yeah.
That's like going through a breakup every day. Like,
It's-
I hated going
pretty
through
tough.
breakups.
It is. I mean, yeah, the
Yeah.
emotions, and just like right before Thanksgiving, Paisley. Paisley got adopted, and Paisley was an older pit bull mix. She came into us and not in good shape. She ended up with mammary cancer, and had to have She had to have. Actually, she had 3 different surgeries.
She did.
2 on the mammaries because each mammary had to be removed, and it had to be a month to 6 weeks in between.
Wow, right.
And then she got a little cyst on her eye, and so we removed that on the eyelid. And Paisley was 8, 9 years old. Oh, it's okay.
It's okay, Doge.
And
It's all right, Dojo. It's just
Paisley got adopted, but she had been with us for
okay,
quite a
Dojo.
while. And so it was a matter of someone accepting her and her age, and she had anxiety. Sometimes people need to be patient when they adopt from us, because we can only do so much.
Uh-huh.
Well, and all our animal care people can only do so much for these animals. The point of the matter is, it's still like they're there. They're on a routine. We get there at 7 in the morning. We leave at 5:30 at night. That's their routine. And during that time, someone's there all the time. So when they get adopted and you may work, you need to give them the time to adjust to that. You need to give them the time, even though they may have been housebroken at one time, they maybe didn't continue that on because there was nowhere to go when they needed to go other than in their kennel.
Right.
So people need to be patient. But the best part of this all was Paisley did get a home, and she got a home where someone's with her 24 hours a day. And we've gotten updates and pictures, and her house training's coming well, and they're so in love with her.
And you've made the point before, there's so many variety of dogs, no matter what your personal lifestyle is, there's an animal that will fit your lifestyle there. Now, speaking of Paisley, kind of having a rough situation, how do you, as the Humane Society, measure that this is going to be a good fit? I mean, some guy just strolls in off the street and says, I want that one. And
Well, actually that falls on to Callie and these guys too, as kennel techs, is where it starts when they do what we call a tour. And so when someone comes in to adopt, Callie, why don't you explain that all to them?
When someone comes in to adopt, us as kennel techs, our crew, which we have a wonderful crew, by the way, very passionate, we know the dogs. We spend hours on end with these dogs, so we know their personalities. We can talk to people and ask them, what type of dog are you looking for? Do you have other animals at home? To find out, for instance, Dojo doesn't like cats, so we're not going to send him home with somebody that's got a cat.
Or neighbors with
we
cats.
like to ask lots of questions like that to make sure it's going to be a safe environment for our dog and a safe environment for the family that wants to take them home, and as well as their animals if they have animals.
wait, so you actually, there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that
Yeah.
have input
Oh, yeah.
into making
Absolutely.
sure that these animals really go to the right home.
Absolutely. And another thing is, we've got like Paisley. Paisley went to a home with an older lady that I believe is wheelchair bound, if I'm not mistaken, or has some older,
Disability.
some disability at some point, and she has a caregiver. So, but I mean, Paisley's at the age in her life where she's happy just laying down near you and watching TV all day or whatever you do and going for a walk once in a while. She loves her downtime. So, if you're inactive or if you're a big athletic person, a hiker and all that, I mean, these guys, we know what these animals are and what they're capable of.
Right.
We
So-
have lots of dogs with lots of different personalities. Cats as well.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that perfect friend, of course, swing on down to the Humane Society. We'll be back. We're going to check with some other friends of ours here, and we'll be back in just a couple moments with more Paw Prints on the Mountain. Hi, and welcome back to Paw Prints on the Mountain. I'm Mike Bosely. Joined with me is Deena Pace, the Executive Director of the Humane Society of the White Mountains. And then we've got our kennel tech, Callie. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
So, moving back in, of course, we were talking about the microchipping and the importance of that. But we also want to touch on the importance of spaying and neutering your animals.
We do. Oh my goodness. The importance of that is, it's not only to prevent all the unwanted puppies and kittens.
I like puppies.
We love puppies, but how many can you have at once, Mike?
I can't have any. If I could, I'd make $1 million.
Oh, cute. How many would you like to adopt at one time?
Right, yes, valid
That's
point.
the thing. And so it also prevents a lot of the cancers in the dogs. The
Really?
mammary cancer is one that it can prevent.
Okay.
There's all kinds of different benefits. It also keeps them home better. The males don't smell the females coming into their season and take off and get run over or hurt or in a fight. And there is diseases that is a sexually transmitted disease. It's
Oh,
called
wow.
TVT
Uh-huh.
that dogs actually transmit also.
Oh, wow.
And so we actually have a dog right now. We have several cases of it
Really?
come in and out. But the one that is just about over it now came in with such a bad tumor from this disease that we actually thought it was her uterus had prolapsed. Until the vet, took her over for surgery and said, no, that's a tumor. So that has to be cut off. And then she has to go through chemotherapy.
Oh, wow.
And so she's done, I believe, 4 chemos now, and she has at least 1 to 2 more to go through. She had it so bad. So by spaying and neutering, you can prevent all these things. And we also have a grant right now to help you with spaying and neutering at our PAWS clinic. And so it's $25 for a cat to be neutered or spayed and $35 for a dog. So if you're interested in that, while the grant is there to help pay for that, call 928-205-7415. You have to leave a message, and Gina gets back to you anywhere from 1 to 3 days and sets your appointment.
Okay, say that number one more time for us.
928-205-7415.
Okay.
And like I say, the advantages to spaying and neutering, I'm going to give you an example. My son got a chocolate lab just before I started at the Humane Society.
Okay.
And my husband and I had 2 female dogs, and we had them spayed right away when they turned old enough. And so I says, when are you going to get him neutered? And he says, no, actually, I just started there. And he goes, I'm not going to neuter him. Can you imagine the beautiful babies he'll make? I said, yep, I sure can. I said, I want you to come up to the shelter and see all the beautiful homeless babies. Well, one day, for who he was working for, he had to deliver a load of cinders up there to us. And I kind of snatched him on out of the truck, and I said, come on in here. And he took about 2 days, and he come in one night, and he goes, get him neutered. And I said, done. And I took him up there and got him neutered, you know. And so I've seen dogs come into us with testicular cancer from not being neutered, the males.
Right.
And like I say, the females can get the mammary cancer. And it just, you know, everyone goes, well, I'm worried that, you know, it's mostly men have a problem with it, don't they? With getting their dogs neutered.
Yeah, I think
They really do. I don't
It's
know
called
why.
the patriarch of the family. That's
I
that's
guess
our.
so.
I feel
That's-
bad about it.
I guess so. They must really feel that pain or something. But the point of the matter is, we can help you right now, make it really affordable. And while you're there, let's go back to the microchipping. If you want a microchip, they can microchip right there while your dog's under. The microchips are really easy. It's just like a grain of rice. It goes in kind of like a shot, you know, and it just sits right up here between the shoulder blades.
Okay, so
Nothing to it.
fairly
Yeah.
painless.
Yeah, and Dr. Helzer does all our surgeries at our clinic for us, and it's a great crew that we've got that works over there. So definitely, we can help you right now because we do have grant money.
Okay, so if you're needing a little help, obviously get the grant money if you need it, because the cancer she was listing off, it sounded like doctor's appointments, vet's appointments, pills. All of that sounds way more expensive than just getting the job done.
Right, that's exactly
I mean,
right.
and yes, puppies running around will probably be cute for 10 minutes or so.
Yes.
You
You know,
yes.
until you have to start cleaning up after
Oh
'em,
my goodness.
You know, and then
Right.
the older they get, the mom's done with them.
Right, right.
And then somebody's, you know, and they're I mean, it's a lot of work, and we see a lot of litters come to us, and I highly encourage that we'll take that litter, but let us spay that mama,
Of course.
you know.
Now, speaking of all the animals that you have, Callie, how many animals roughly can you hold there in the shelter? Do you know how many animals are you in charge of?
On a daily basis, we have anywhere between 40 and 50 animals.
Wow.
That's just dogs, though, isn't it?
Well, that's mainly just dogs, yes.
Now that you
So
think about
we
that.
have cats too, yeah.
Right.
So I think we can house upwards of 100 animals.
Wow. So you've got to have some help doing all of your duties.
Absolutely.
So can volunteers come in and help out? What's honestly, I might come in and volunteer, but I might want to volunteer for the not so dirtier of the task. Like, I fear if I walk in, you're just gonna be like, hey Bosley, here's the pooper scooper, aisle 14, buddy.
No, not necessarily. We have wonderful volunteers that come in and help, and they come in and they socialize with the cats, and they take our dogs out and play ball with them, and they take them for walks. You can even check our dogs out, take them for a hike across the street up towards the ice caves.
Oh, right,
Get them out of there for a
right.
while and just spend some time with them, and we do have wonderful volunteers, but we can always use more.
Now, out of curiosity, I just had an idea. People do randomly ask me throughout my workday on my normal job, hey, I want to go hiking, where's a good place to go? Could I just literally send these people to the shelter and so how does that work? I mean, is there a is there a checkout process for our volunteers? How do we do that?
Well, first, when you become a volunteer, if you're going to be volunteering at the shelter
Right.
of our organization, you need to go through a dog walking orientation.
So, okay, that
You
makes a
know,
lot of sense.
And you need to know what we believe. And something that I feel is very important is that we believe that there's 4 parts to every animal, and that is they have a body, a mind, a heart, and a soul.
Oh, of course
You know?
they do.
And so the volunteers go through this orientation, and then until they're comfortable and feel good about how they're walking the dogs and which ones they're walking, then we encourage them to stay right there on our grounds. In case they have a problem, we're available to help them.
That makes a lot of sense.
So once they've been with us for a while, they can go, hey, I'm going to go hike across the road. Is that okay with you?
Of course.
Yeah,
of
it is.
course,
We
of course.
now know that this dog's going to be gone for a little while.
And is the foster home, I know you're always looking for foster homes. Remind everybody, what's the process to become a foster parent?
Again, there's an application, and I would encourage anyone to come and do that application at any time, because we never know what we have coming in when.
Oh, so you call me if I have
Absolutely.
what I'm
If
looking
you have
for.
signed up to be a foster,
Uh-huh.
and when we have, say, like yesterday, we had a kitten that had to have a leg amputated.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we would have called you and said, hey, we've got a kitten, because you signed up to do cats. Can you take this kitten? We supply everything. We will supply the litter, the food, if it's a puppy, the food, the puppy pads, everything you need, adult dog, we supply it, we give you everything, and we will be in constant contact or available to you in case you feel there's a problem.
Okay.
And then we tell you when we want it to come back for vaccines, for checkups, all that kind of stuff.
So you guys are really into making sure that these animals are safe at all times.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And some, like Callie mentioned, some of the malnourished ones that come in, probably the ones that need us the most are the ones that we really have the hardest time and have to sometimes step back and go, this is going to be a great home. This is going to be a great home. Or in some cases, it's not going to be the best fit for this animal.
Right.
Because Bella, we just had Bella adopted. Bella came to us to actually be euthanized, and Debbie talked about this on one of the earlier shows. And she said to the lady, why am I euthanizing this dog? And the person that wanted to turn it into us for that said, because she's got cancer. And Deb said, what kind of cancer? Well, she wouldn't go into it. She wouldn't give us the vet's name. And Deb said, here's the deal. I'm not willing to euthanize this animal that looks healthy. I'll be happy to take her if you will surrender her to me, and we will run some blood work and find out what's going on. So Bella had what we call a pancreatic insufficiency. So she needed this medicine on her food every day. The medicine's probably roughly $80 a month. So we knew that Bella was very adoptable, but it was going to take someone that could afford that medicine.
Of course.
And so Bella just got adopted. Not a problem,
Way to
and
go.
until then, we keep them and we see to their medical needs and make sure that, some people can, and we're not faulting you if you cannot afford that. Somebody else will come along that can, and give that pet that great home.
All right. Well, as we kind of round up and almost finishing, real quick. So, Callie, what is okay, it's hard to narrow it down, I'm sure. What are two of the most enjoyable parts of your job? And you can't say your boss. We already know that's one. So
she's
other
great.
than
She is
that,
fantastic.
Thank you.
tell us two things that, make you have the best job in the world.
You know what? I get to help save lives every day. That is the main thing of it really is. And it is hard work a lot of times, but it's completely worth it. And beyond that, of course, playing with puppies and kittens.
All right. Now, we only have this show once a month,
Yes.
but there is another outlet that people can tune in once a week and check out the Pet of the Week.
Yes, on the radio show, 98.5 every Friday from 10 to 11 on the Storm.
And that is with the prior host, Tommy Boy. After 3 or 4 shows, he was able to go to TV retirement. I am still working on my application fee, so I'll keep working that off for a couple more months. Thank you so much for joining us for Paw Prints on the Mountain. Of course, have a safe and happy holiday. Everybody, please, if you do drink, do not drive. Please take care of your loved ones. Find forever happy homes for our furry friends. Any last words, young lady?
I just want to thank our great community. And also, you know what? Our Doghouse Thrift Shop. I want to let everyone know that we've got some amazing holiday stuff there.
All right.
So
Go shopping, holiday shopping there at the Doghouse Thrift Shop. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.